Thank you for coming. Apologies for being a little tardy tonight. We were just in a work session, and we are reconvening to our regular session. So we start our regular sessions, if you join me, by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much. So we will move to item number 5, Superintendent's presentation. Dr. Cooper.
All right, so tonight we have some exciting presentations coming up with some of our students and their accomplishments. But first, we want to start with our wayfinding video of the month. Each month we do release a wayfinding video to give you a little story about what's going on throughout the district. So if you've not seen those, check those out on YouTube. They're great stories, and you get to learn a little bit more about someone's journey here in Mason. So I'll turn that over to Tracy to tell us a little bit about this month's wayfinding video.
So we've just wrapped up another incredible school year filled with powerful Mason moments, some of which are represented here tonight that we're going to dig into a little bit. And now we're already deep into planning to make next school year one where each and every comment discovers purpose and potential. Tonight's wayfinding video highlights how we intentionally design beginnings and endings to build connection, confidence, and celebration for our students and families.
At Mason City Schools, we believe in the power of moments, those meaningful experiences that leave a lasting imprint on our hearts and minds. And there is no time more powerful for creating Mason moments than at the beginning and end of each school year. We know that how we start and how we finish matters. That's why we've intentionally designed experiences that help students and families feel connected, confident, and celebrated. From the first hello to the final farewell, MCS Day 1 is our unique phased-in start. Students come in smaller groups, giving teachers space to build relationships, provide extra support, and create a calm, welcoming environment where every child feels seen and ready to begin. Then, on MCS Day 2, all K-12 students join together and begin the year on a strong, unified note, grounded in belonging and ready to grow. Before that first day, we welcome families into our buildings for Family Welcome Days, a family orientation that's joyful and a time to meet teachers, visit classrooms, and kick off the year with anticipation and excitement. And when it's time to say goodbye, we close the year with a celebration of growth and achievement. These culminating Mason moments, like the second grade send-off, the sixth grade celebration, the senior bike ride, and the inspiring parade of graduates, honor the journey and mark powerful transitions in a student's life. At Mason, these moments aren't extras. They're part of who we are, because every child deserves to begin and end their year knowing they belong, they matter, and they're part of something special. A special Mason moment made just for them.
Thank you, Tracy. We appreciate that.
Hey, Jonathan, I do have to say apologies to all returning students for that bit of a traumatic reminder of the start of the school year coming up pretty soon.
In the middle of their summer right now.
That's right.
But it is a good reminder that the things they will remember are those Mason moments, and a great way to capture those. I think that video will be also great for families that may not be familiar with Mason and they're moving in. That's a great way to welcome them in. So thanks so much for putting that together. Our next superintendent presentation tonight, we are going to be recognizing, again, our 5-time Ohio State Ultimate Frisbee champion. So I'd like to welcome GA to the podium. Let's give GA a warm welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting us up here tonight. Before I turn it over to the captains, I want to thank the school board, the leadership, and especially the other athletic department coaches who help provide us the space to train. It is so important to our program, that partnership we have with the other coaches. So I want to thank the coaches very much for that. Now I want to turn it over to Owen Ball, our captain, and he'll introduce everyone and bring everyone up here who needs to.
Hey, I'm Owen, and I just want to introduce my other two captains, Liam and Andrew. Andrew was our junior captain this year and did an incredible job, but he's going to come up here and give a couple thank yous.
I'd like to give a couple shout outs to, first off, all 20 coaches that we had. We had more, we had 20 coaches and 15 players on our championship team. So, but without them, without our coaches, it would not be possible for our players to be as good as they are today. I'd also like to thank all our parents and volunteers to help out with tournaments, for bringing tents, chairs, food, and snacks. Wouldn't be possible, and for driving such our young team out to the practice fields every night. I'd like to turn it over to Liam, who will talk about more about our players.
Hi, I'm Liam, and to start off with, our two Spirit captains this year were freshmen, so we have a lot of younger Spirit captains bringing up the leadership for our younger crews. We have Beckett Hardy and Connor Tracy right here. Then we go up here, we have Kyle, Lincoln, Ethan, and then McCang, who's our only 8th grader on the team. Although being a very young team, he is an integral part. Then we have some of our fewer older players, which is Bradley and John, of course. Thank you.
I had a lot more prepared, but I was told I had to make this short. We had a lot of tournaments this year, a couple crucial ones. We started off with Mason Invite that we hosted here. Played a couple of the best teams in the country. Found out that we did not match up to start the season. We lost a lot of our seniors last year. We put a lot of the work in over the off season and continue throughout the season. We had a really strong season, won every game except for one all season long, and then going into a next tournament in Indianapolis, we played some more of the best teams in the country, and we beat the 2022 and 2023 national champions. They were number 4 in the country the weeks before, and we knocked them down in rankings and stuff. And we had a pretty good tournament, a lot of good practice for us. Still realized we need to put in some more work. And then coming back to this last tournament in west of Chicago, we played the number 3 team in the country and played incredibly well against them. Scoring better than most teams nationals did against them. We started out with such a young team this year. We have 5-6 freshmen on our team, along with only 3-4 seniors. So the program's been growing a ton. We have clinics from 2nd to 12th grade, and almost 200 kids in the program this year. So it's growing a ton, and it's been an incredible journey for the team. Thought we were going to have almost a rebuild year this year, and to win states again and to come out on top of some of these incredible teams. It's been an honor to be captaining here, and it's been really exciting. So.
So talk about how you guys, 5-time state champions, the thing that sets Mason Ultimate apart is your culture. So talk about how you've received and then spread the culture to grow it to 200. And then added question, are Spirit captains supposed to spike the Frisbee when they score or not? Like, I just don't know if that.
Spiking's usually predetermined for a game, but we like it sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this year we won the Spirit Award for the state, which was really incredible. A big thanks to Connor and Beckett over here. But Spirit is a huge part of the game. I like to describe it as the physical result of the love of the game, between the respect that you have for others and then the love for the game that you want it to be played right, even it's self-officiated. So you want to be able to receive fouls and accept when you've committed a foul, or even call fouls on yourself, but it's all for the love of the game and appreciating it and wanting it to be played correctly. And so we won the Spirit Award this year for most spirited team. I think that's what brings a lot of people to Mason Ultimate, with 200 kids. And I've never heard of a program with that many people in it. And so with the spirit all involved, I think it's a culture that really brings people in, along with the high level of play, and for all ages, from fun to competitive. So we're here for everyone.
Yeah, I'll just say you all should be proud of course, the accomplishments on the field and the championships, but the culture and what you've built, you should be even more proud, and that's going to have a lasting legacy in Mason. As the father of 2 kids who have gone to at least a couple camps, I can just tell you the joy that you all bring to younger potential players is incredible, and that's why they're 200 players. I mean, our coaches are fantastic. Thank you, GA, for all that you do, and you set the standard for sure. But you students setting the bar high culture-wise is really the key to the success, and we're just so proud of you for doing that. And look forward to all your success.
The way you guys include middle schoolers, freshmen, it's just, we wish we could sprinkle what happens in Mason Ultimate everywhere around the district, but you guys do a fantastic job of that. So, well done, well deserved. I mean, we're gonna reserve this slot next year, same time.
Yeah, that works.
No pressure, but.
Do it all again.
All right, take a vote. Another round of applause.
Can we invite you guys down really quick for a picture with the board? That'd be great.
Got like a dining room set of these now.
We gotta get out there. Like this, come down the line, we wanna shake each of your hands. And give you a flag. Oh, yeah? Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. Awesome. They'll be very excited to see this.
Absolutely love this, and they love who it's from. Thank you very much.
Here, we gotta get one. Yeah, we'll hand them out.
You're one of the freshmen, is that right? Good job. How'd you hear about it? Did you?
You're skipping line, but that's all good. You're a freshman, so it's all good. Yep,
Hi,
Andrew, there we
congratulations.
go. Oh, there we go.
Congratulations. Yep, congratulations. Congratulations. Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Congratulations.
Good job. Thank you.
Okay, I know there's
Spot you in.
some folks here who are gonna think about what's gonna make the best picture. This one that's in the back here is so beautiful. You wanna recreate kind of the way you guys did this. But come up just a little bit.
Scoot up, yes, listen, scoot up.
Come up a little bit. Come up, come up, come up. Yeah, there we go. And then, I don't know if we could. There we go. Yeah, could we have some folks take a knee? That'd be great. And that'll show. And then maybe a couple of my ultimate students just this way. Yes. There you go. Yes. This looks great. Okay. 1, 2. You know what? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's great. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Way to go, guys.
While we're transitioning to the next presentation, I have to acknowledge I got back from a beach vacation recently, and as somebody that considers myself moderately athletic, I think no action will humble you like trying to throw a frisbee any distance in a straight line, especially with any sort of wind gust. I lost track of the number of times we had to go jumping into the ocean for that thing.
They have a parents' league on Monday nights if you would care to join.
And
Good times.
they're practicing tonight too. So we appreciate that they're stopping what they're doing and honing their craft to come here and be celebrated with us.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to move us on because I know people do have practices and other things to get to, but we're going to move on to our next presentation. So, so team, if you need to go practice,
Thank you, parents.
head on out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nationals are coming up. Okay, so get out there and represent Comet Country well.
Thank you, parents, for all you do, too. Nope. You need to step out.
All right, as they're transitioning out, we're going to move on to our next presentation. So our next presentation is I'm going to ask Mr. Ben Brown to kick off and recognizing the MathWorks Math Modeling Challenge. And I believe we have national champions here. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Ben Brown.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to talk a little bit about the M3 Challenge. As you see there, the MathWorks Math Modeling Challenge, referred to as M3 Challenge. So let me tell you a little bit about it first. The M3 Challenge is a great experience for students on so many levels. It gives them a chance to tackle real-world problems that don't have clear-cut answers, kind of like what they'd face in careers in STEM, data science, economics, or public policy. Along the way, they sharpen their math modeling and critical thinking skills, and they learn how to explain complicated ideas in a clear, convincing way. It also helps them build teamwork, manage their time under pressure, and stay flexible when things don't go as planned. All super useful skills for college and beyond. And honestly, it's a huge confidence boost. Students walk away from the challenge realizing they're capable of taking on big, messy problems and making sense of them. So the team of Anish Iyer, Ramya Rajan, Raymond Shio, Vivian Tang, and Majinga Zhang competed against 793 other M3 entries across the country. Many entries come from elite high schools, not only private schools, but schools specializing in STEM courses. And the team then was chosen as one of the top 6 to present their M3 Challenge paper presentation in front of a panel of judges with a variety of expertise in modeling. The team traveled to New York City to present and compete. At the end of the day, this team of individuals earned first place and received the top prize of $20,000 in scholarship money, which is $4,000 per student. The scholarship money is amazing, but the prestige of winning the M3 tops the monetary reward. So I would like at this time we have 3 of our team members with us. If you'd be willing to come join me up here and speak a little about this. Maybe if you would, just introduce yourselves, and then anything you feel inclined to share, then Gordon may ask people.
Hi, I'm Ramya. I'm Minja. And I'm Vivian. And yeah, the M3 challenge was kind of a really last minute thing that we decided to do. None of it, or I think Ramya and Raymond, our other team member, have done the challenge before, but at Mason, I think we never really made it to the final round or really had any expectation to make the final round. So the months leading up to the challenge, we got together, did some prep work, but most of it just involved us messing around. So when the 14-hour challenge window came, we really locked in and got together, and I think the experience was really amazing because it allowed all of us to use our individual strengths and apply them in a field that we've never really approached before. For instance, the problem itself had us model an indoor temperature change in Memphis homes for the first part. And Minja here does Science Olympiad and does the material science event in specific. And her knowledge from that really helped us with that first part of the challenge. And then Ramya does Model UN, and so she knew a lot about policy, which was really helpful for the third part of our challenge, which involved creating a plan for policymakers in Memphis, Tennessee, that would help them equitably allocate resources to manage heat wave effects. So yeah.
Wow.
I just mess around and win a math national championship. I'm just blown away. That's just awesome. I'm kind of speechless.
There's a question we should ask. So, how did you come to find it? How did you said it was last minute, so it was something, you said 2 teammates had done before. Did they approach you guys and, did they build the Avengers and say, hey, we're just going to pull this together and just go win this thing?
I mean, yeah, so me and Raymond, another member that couldn't be here today, did it last year, and we were very unsuccessful. We did not do well. We did not have a complete paper at the end of it, but the experience really bonded us together as a team, and the other members had graduated. So we said, what if we made a new team? And we reached out to a couple of people. Some of them didn't respond, but our members that we had really made the team complete because we were able to join our different skill sets to make a successful paper.
Love that.
That's amazing. So I see class of 2025. Where we taking our talents to South Beach? Where you guys going to continue your educations?
I'm going to Brown University next year.
Congratulations.
I'll be attending the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And then our two members that aren't here, Raymond is going to Columbia and Anish is going to Georgia Tech.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. For a last minute side quest, I mean, how successful was this? I mean, $4,000 for each of you to go to college at these very prestigious universities is amazing. Thank you for lending your talents to Mason and shining a spotlight on how well we do the STEM field. So congratulations.
Shake your hands first, and then we'll take a picture. No,
It's getting a little. Congratulations.
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 Yeah.
Congratulations. And then we'll give you all. From behind. You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys are no stranger to being up here. So.
Ladies, I'm going to ask you to come stand up, and we'll have the floor. Perfect. Yeah, their board numbers. Very nice. Well done.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Exciting things. And one of the things I loved hearing was not only did we compete well, but we just had fun together. Fun fellowship is always great to see our students connecting and building those relationships. So congratulations to our kids. All right. Our final presentation tonight is an exciting presentation. We have the state champion girls 4x4 relay champions here tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Avatato. Kick us off. Thanks.
I'm Tony Affatato. I'm the girls and boys head track coach here. I've been here 25 years. I specifically coach some of the 400 runners, and I wanted to introduce a few of our coaches before we bring up the girls to have them have a chance to speak as well. My wife, Kelly Affatato, coaches the distance runners. Anna Holt helps me with the sprinters, and Junior Bapati helps with the girls and boys sprinters. So all of us are here to help recognize the girls. And before I do so, I just want to thank, it's been an amazing opportunity working here and coaching here over this part of my career, having Mr. Brown and Dr. Cooper with their support of our programs coming out on senior night to the conference championship and stuff. We had a great year with the boys and girls, and this kind of capped it off. For those of you that don't know as much maybe about track, but the 4x4 relay is the very last event of the night. So for when people have asked, when did you decide what 4 girls you were going to run, I actually decided with the coaches and the girls about 6:30 on Friday night before the prelims. So we had 16 different girls run the event over the course of the season. You are allowed to have 8 girls participate, and so then we settled on 4 girls, and we kind of had a conversation with our senior Lily, who also hurdled, and we just weren't sure what we were going to do at that time, and I had this hunch. People ask you, like, do you have this 2 cents? And I was like, I kind of had a hunch that with her being a senior and she hadn't really run it that much that year, that if she goes in there, I think, because she placed in both her other events, that it was going to be a great outcome, but I didn't know that it was going to be this outcome. You always Over the last 25 years, we've been second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and to win a state championship with these 4 girls was really special. So at this time, I'm going to bring them up. So we have senior Lily Eagleston. She's going to attend Ball State next year. She was our leadoff leg, and then we got Elizabeth Ressick, who's going to attend UK, and she was our anchor leg. Then we had Tori Killens as a junior, and she was our second leg and also placed in the Open 400 and is the new school record holder. And then our freshman, Taylor Birdsong, is here as well. So I'll let the girls come up.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily. This is Elizabeth, Tori, and Taylor. We do not solve really hard math problems. We run in circles really fast. And track's a little bit unique. We have a very long season. We start in December and we go all the way to June. So just to see us come together after those long months of training, running individual events and relays, to be able to say, okay, we're going to do this at the end of the night. Long season, and we pulled it together. So we're just proud of our teamwork together.
Yeah, I think it's really special. As a team, we have so much variety of classes. They all come together. We each have a different experience of what our season is like, depending on what events we run. Lily hurdles. Taylor's a very short sprinter, she's super fast. Tori and I run the 400, but we get put anywhere. So it's really good to see us all come together and have this outcome. So it's really unexpected, but I think we held it down.
So you said the word unexpected. Who's going to tell the story about the regional final?
Yeah, I could do that. So the way that track works is it goes districts, regionals, finals, or states, and then we have prelims, finals for each one of those steps. And in order to move on to state, you have to be top 4 in regional finals. And our 4x4 team that night on finals, we were in a pretty good spot, looking pretty good. And then a handoff between our third leg and me didn't go so well. We have pictures. The baton was in the middle of the air.
In the air.
And luckily we caught it. And so we were, I think, 7th, 8th, like almost last. So I had to do some hawking down, and I fought really hard because I knew all of us girls have worked so hard to be, like, we deserve to be at state. So yeah, it was unexpected, but very lucky to be at state because of that mishap.
First of all, everybody that was sitting by me asked me if I was okay. I wasn't. I was not okay. For a very long time, I was not okay. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. 2, what great hands, right? Like between, you know, the 2 of you to catch it midair, and your dad, her father, catches the photograph of the baton. Nobody's hands on it. Everybody looking at it. If it hits the ground, there's a very specific way you have to pick it back up in order to not DQ. We came in that exchange, I don't know, 3rd, 4th. I mean, we were fine. And then everybody takes off, and we're like, oh my gosh. And Liz has the leg of her life. When I tell you guys, it was as if Hermes came down and put wings on her feet. She caught almost everybody. She finished 4th. Like and so as a track dad, my Eden Runs is on this. We weren't state runner-up this year. We were 3rd out of 62 teams that competed and scored. So, you know, phenomenal season. But to watch you guys close the state championship in the way that you did was just, I can't tell you how cathartic. As a dad, as a fan, you guys are awesome. Lily doesn't run the 4. She runs the 300 hurdles. And so, great hunch, coach. Good job. And yeah, you know, just. Conversation at about 6 o'clock. Yep, and I think TK had something to do with that, making sure that change happened. But you guys, it was just wonderful to watch. So congratulations to you guys, and you know, can't wait to see what's next for the 2 that are coming back. You know, same time next year, like I said, for the Frisbee team, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, because now, in case no one knows, Taylor's a 400 runner. She ran the 1 and the 2, but now she's a 400 runner because she won a gold medal.
Lily said she's a 400 runner. To graduate, can you speak to just what this meant to end your Mason career? Well, on this note, because what's unique about our spring sports when we go into state tournaments and state finals and that sort of thing is it's past graduation. You've already gotten your diploma and you are a graduate of Mason High School. So can you just speak to what it means to kind of go out on top in that way?
I don't know about Lily, but for me it was really tough to hold on. I did not have the most planned out season, I guess. It didn't go as I've planned. So I'd like to thank Coach Mapati for telling me to stick in there. He was my #1 supporter, telling me to just stay focused and to keep fighting. And for my last race ever, to come out on top is really meaningful for me.
Yeah, like Elizabeth said, we graduated and then state ended almost a month after graduation. So that's really rough to keep going, to keep showing up to practice, coming to those meets, giving 100%. But really to end our season together, like I looked at Taylor, I was like, Taylor, we're about to be state champions as Elizabeth's coming down the run. So that was just a great way to end the year. I mean, that was a huge goal I had. I thought it was going to be in the hurdles, but it ended up being the 4x4, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. So I think for me, just seeing that God had a different plan for me, and I was okay. So that was very fun to have that moment with them.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Are both seniors? Are you both running next year when you're going to college?
I'll be going to Ball State, and I'll be running track there.
Okay.
I will not be running at UK.
At least not on the team. Not on the team, right? Around the track. And I have for Lily, more pressure running the 4x4 at state or giving the Comet Savings and Loan Board of Directors address to a packed room in front of your parents and our treasurer.
Probably board of directors.
So that was easy by the time you got upstate. All right, cool.
Now, if it was the hurdles, maybe a little different story, but yeah.
Did you feel like you had not having expectations in the 4x4? Do you feel like that let you run a little more free and loose than in the hurdles, your primary events?
I think so. For the hurdles, I know I can't misstep or I'll be on the ground. So in the 4x4, I'm like, I just got to run. There's nothing, there's no barrier to get over, so I can't mess that up, right? But yes, there's definitely less pressure there.
Awesome.
That is so awesome. What I think all of us can really see is you're proud of your accomplishment, and by all means you should be. But I look at you and you're communicating with each other while you're speaking to us. You're looking at each other, you're mentioning each other, how devoted you are, how committed you are, and how well you know each other is really impressive, and obviously one of the characteristics that's important for winners. You did a great job. You make us very proud.
And I will say this. When you hand the baton to a freshman with the lead, because Tori ran her face-off and hands Taylor the lead, she's in first place, and the whole arena is thinking, is this freshman going to hold it? And she cooked. No one came close. She stretched it out even more. So for her to be the youngest on that team and do that speaks to how hard she worked all year and what kind of athlete she is. So I didn't want that to go unsaid, that she made sure that gold medal came back to Mason.
It's a good thing the bus waited for, right?
That's not right. Ladies, congratulations. Come on down. Let's take our picture.
All right, can we shake your hands first?
Thanks, man.
I'm trying to restore order to this process again.
Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats, Coach.
All right, you guys jump in there too? Yeah. Okay. Tracy, you just tell us, man, where are you? Come on, Connie. Yeah, we got room. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you.
Charles, I don't know what the last event is. Is there traditionally a last event at swim meets? But as my daughter ran exactly one 4x400 relay in a very cold and rainy track meet, so I just want to give a special shout out. Yeah. So a special shout out to the parents who stick around for the very last event of the night.
Well, that is why I never let Eden run the 4x4.
Yeah.
Go home.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you, parents. We appreciate you and your support as well. Thank you.
All right. If we take a natural break here, so if you came for any of the superintendent's presentations, we are not offended if you have to walk out and get to your things this evening. If not, we will go ahead and move on to item number 6, hearing of the public. Tracy, do we have anything tonight?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. So we will move on to item number 7, superintendent's recommendations, personnel items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Cooper?
All right. Thank you. I'll go ahead and just walk us through the recommendations this evening. The first sections, A, B, C, and D, are all administrator recommendations. So you'll see Eric Messer moving into the executive Director of Legacy Operations role. We are appointing him into that position. He's already busy at work in that, and as part of our succession plan for our operations team. Soroya Smith, Assistant Principal, is receiving, she's moving into a 260 role, which she's at a 215 right now, and she's taking on that new responsibility, also moving on the scale because of the new responsibilities and extra time that she's going to be putting in. That helps in the summertime. So each of our buildings has a head principal and another assistant principal that help with a lot of the summer preparation work. All the principals do, but this is what Soroya will be stepping into in her next part of her journey, and we're excited for that. We have Miss Amy Dobson coming on board from Miamisburg, and this is a great teammate. We are lucky to bring her on to our team. And she is here tonight, so I'll just point her out, and family. So we're just welcoming you to the team here. So you'll hear more about her work, and she's going to be moving into TJ Glassmeyer's role and supporting our student learning well-being work that we've done in the district that we're going to be highlighted for this year on a national stage, which is really exciting. Thanks for your support. We also have extended days in Section C for principals that are doing extended work throughout the district during the summer that may not have a 260. Soroya is on there because she's not in the 260 role yet, but she's going to transition into it, so you'll see some extra days there added. TJ Glassmeyer, I mentioned him, moving on to Milford in a new capacity there. We're excited for his journey. Sad to see him go, but super excited because this is part of the role he wants to try out as he moves on in his leadership growth. And we also have Tom Morris moving on. He has served well here in multiple capacities, most recently with our athletic department, and just so grateful for Tom's work here. So thank you, Tom. As you move down the agenda, you'll see new teachers still coming on board. We're just finishing that up, so you'll see math teachers for the high school. You'll see teachers coming in for each of our buildings, and so we're so glad to bring those teachers on board and welcome them to our district. You'll also see that there are extended days there for our guidance counselors. Each year we do that to give our guidance counselors time to make sure they transition from one year to the next, supporting our students. And you'll see some other prevention and wellness support players that also get some extended days to do work during the summer as well. You'll see our learning experience designers. They're hard at work during the summer getting ready for next year. We have our personalized professional development pathways moving forward, and they're doing a lot of that work. Also getting ready to kick off our we have a big conference that we kick off the year with, and so they're going to be a part of that Comic-Con conference and organizing that. So thanks to our learning experience designers and the work they're doing. And then also our psychologists are on there for some extended days to make sure they have all their paperwork and their data ready at transitioning from one grade to the next grade up. Our next section, Section J, you'll see personal, certified licensed personnel additional duties. A lot of the pieces here are for transition support. So when students are moving from one grade to the next or one building to the next, we have additional supports in place, especially for students on IEPs. So you'll see that represented in this section of the agenda. And then we do have some certified folks that are resigning, and we want to wish them the best on their journey on Section K and thank them for their service here. And then I believe we're getting down to the end here, hopefully. It's a lot of different things here, but we want to thank everybody for the work they're doing during the summer that's represented in a couple of our other sections, whether it's helping out with our transportation department or student nutrition services. And then finally at the bottom you'll see Joe Schroeder. If you scroll all the way down past all of our athletic workers, I don't want to skip that. We have some of the most amazing event venues in Ohio, probably the Midwest, and I would say probably across the state for high school athletics. And to do that well, we have to have lots of people to support that work. And so you'll see all these athletic workers or event workers, they support that work, keeping people safe, also just showing a spirit of hospitality for guests. Sometimes we are hosting events. You'll see some administrators on this list. The reason they're paid as athletic workers is because they're working events that are not our teams that are playing. So we might be hosting a championship or a regional event for other teams, and so they work those events. You'll see them on this list as well. So that's those 5 pages of events working there. So thank you to everyone that signed up to do that. And then finally getting down to Joe Schroeder, his experiential learning coordinator contract. He and Annie Drogi are going to be continuing the work and expanding the work. It's growing so fast. I even got a text from Joe Schroeder today because we have students that would like to kick off an entrepreneur arm and start that next year, so that we have a whole arm just dedicated to entrepreneurship and helping our students connect with entrepreneurs from around the state, and so they can begin to see if that is the pathway for them. And that goes all back to our potential and purpose and the vision we have here at Mason City Schools. So thanks for your patience as I walk through that, but lots of good things happening, and welcome to those that are coming on board.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Any further commentary? Seeing none, Mr. Bevan, please call the roll.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Oro?
Do you want to give Amy a chance?
Yeah, is that okay? Amy, if I could just welcome you really quickly, just to come up and just introduce yourself so we know who you are, where you're coming from. I know that I've been able to, I met Amy probably 20 years ago. We did our master's at UD.
I think it's been about 20 years.
It's amazing to say that out loud, but that is, time goes very quick.
It sure does. Thank you so much for having me. It is really a privilege to be here. I look forward to serving the Mason community. I am coming from Miamisburg City Schools, where I have served as a director of elementary education for the last 13 years and focused my efforts in building systems and collaborating with teachers as it relates to supporting students and not only their academic needs, but also their wellness and their well-being. And so this is a nice opportunity for me to continue and expand my impact in Mason. And one of the greatest honors that I am experiencing here is that every person that I meet from Mason City Schools is an embodiment of the culture and the core values here. And I look forward to being a part of that. Thank you for the opportunity.
That's great.
Thank you.
Well, welcome. And I know you have a guest here with you that is, who is here?
I do. This is my husband, David, who's my cheerleader, my partner, and my greatest supporter. So I'm grateful that he's here. And for the grandparents who are taking care of all the kids.
Yes. And David, you're not here to recruit tonight with our track team, are you? I know you coach. Okay, just want to make sure we're above board here. You do have some comments that we had to UD, so that's great. Well, thank you and welcome, Amy. We're so glad to have you on board.
Welcome you both to the Mason Common family. We can't wait to get to know you. We're thrilled to have you.
You said he was your cheerleader. I'm still waiting to see what the uniform is.
Oh, right, there you go. It'll have to be green now.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're happy that Dr. Blessing is actively recruiting. That's a great HR win there, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
Happy
you.
to have you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Welcome.
All right, so we'll move to item number 8, superintendent's recommendations, action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Dr. Cooper.
Yes, so quickly walk through. Item A is Applied Behavior Service Agreement. This is to support a student with IEP needs, and so that's what item A is addressing. Item B is our SPARK agreement. SPARK, I could not tell you what that acronym stands for off the top of my head, but I know what they do, and they do support and protect our data and host some of the things that Christine and her crew work on to make sure all of our systems are working behind the scenes. So that's what SPARK does, and that's our annual contract. Hamilton County ESC, we have the MECC preschool evaluation agreement, so we can continue to evaluate and bring in preschoolers to our program. Remember, our program is set up where we have students with IEPs for about 50% of the classrooms in our preschool, and so that's what this process involves. Item D is the City of Mason Road Project. Some people may or may not know it is on the website for the city, but Tylersville and Mason Montgomery, that small little intersection with a few cars, no, a very big, busy intersection right next to our middle school, in March of 2026 coming up, will be under massive construction. And what they're going to do there is they're going to expand and put turn lanes in so that folks can turn right as they pass our middle school. It will also add in left turn lanes on both ends of Mason Montgomery, so you can turn west or east there onto Tylersville, and 2 turn lanes. They're going to move the crosswalks back for safety reasons so that students and adults alike that are crossing there will have a little less space to cross, and then some safety features are going to add in there. In the meantime, what they're asking us tonight is to just vote on that. We are agreeing that they're going to have some temporary easement that comes all the way to that purple line that you'll see there into our parking lot. We'll work with them to make sure that we can still have 2 lanes of cars there, and then also they're going to expand and potentially be removing the Mason Moment sign that's out there. Not our Mason sign, but the Mason Moment sign that's there. So that's what that item is for item D. If people have further questions, they can definitely go to the city and they can tell you more about the details. Item E, property and casualty insurance approval. I'll turn it over to Sean to talk about that.
Thank you, Jonathan. So every year our property and casualty insurance renews July 1st. So thank you to the Finance Committee for reviewing those quotes that we had come in. We work with a broker called USI out of Columbus to renew our insurance for next year. So we're covered for that section.
Great. And do you want to take item F as well? Health insurance, or I can do it. We have our MOU.
Yep. So actually we'll have a couple different, we'll see health insurance here on a couple different places of the agenda. And the treasurer section next will approve the actual premium rates for the year. In this section, we're approving a memorandum of understanding with both the Mason Education Association and the OPSI group. This is a modification to the contract. So the plan ran a little rich this year. So we had our premium rates are increasing by about 16%, which is above average for us. We've been fortunate over the last several years to have an average really of over a year-over-year increase average of less than 5%, probably over the last 10 years. So this is a high year for us, but as part of that, we are introducing a second plan option, and so that is something that's outside of the contract that we have in place currently, and so this is an MOU that will address that and allow us to have 2 plan options for next year.
Thanks, Sean. Item G on the action items tonight, we have building fees for the 25-26 school year, so people can see what the building fees are. There's a small adjustment for technology at MECC, but all the rest of them are pretty straightforward and similar to the previous year. Item H is approval of the 25-26 building handbooks. There's some slight adjustments there, just tightening up some language and expectations, but that will be on there for a vote tonight, and that's an annual review that we have, and people can find that on our website as well if they'd like to read more about our handbooks and what's expected. I encourage people to take a look at that. And then finally, item I is the GAP CAFR services. So, Sean?
Sure. So every year we take our cash basis financial statements and convert them to GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles, and then that's part of our audit. So we have a group from the Auditor State's Office, the Local Government Services Division, will come in and convert those statements over to GAAP basis and produce a comprehensive annual financial report for us, which is the CAFR. And then we have an audit team that comes in and audits the financial statements as well as some of our internal controls and processes. And so this is just part of that fiscal year end process.
And I'll just mention before ending this, we did mention the healthcare committee. That committee has worked hard over the last several years and worked well together. But I just want to give our gratitude and just thank them for the work leading up to this. This is not easy to make transitions like that, and that crew has done a great job preparing us for what's coming. And hopefully that, if anybody has questions about that, we'll definitely have resources for them to get those answers. Thanks.
Jonathan, I do have one question for you. Letter D, just mainly for our viewers at home, is there any cost for that road or to be borne by the schools? It's all the
Good
same.
question. Yes, there's no cost on behalf of the school, and if there is a sign removal in the process, that would be embodied in the payments that the city would take over, and they would care for that. And even the any kind of adjustments that we have to make in the meantime to our traffic flow, hopefully not major adjustments, because that middle school traffic, if you've been in it before, it's very it's tight. And so they'll work with us on that, but they'll also fund any changes that we have to do there. Thanks for clarifying.
To further clarify, if in March 2026 you have a question, call the city. Call the city. Don't call the school district. Call the city. We are just giving them a temporary easement to do their work. Call the city.
We're just on one of the corners. There are 4 of us that will be impacted by that. There's, if you look at the map, so we'll all have a shared impact there.
Jonathan, on your point about the healthcare committee on the medical insurance MOUs, I just want to make clear that I was going to say the same thing, but the healthcare committee isn't a superintendent committee, or it's not us. That's a membership of our unions and administrators working together and getting really their hands dirty and looking at different aspects of our plans and making decisions about what's changed and what's not. And so there was a time not that long ago where that committee existed, but it really wasn't functioning as intended. And so we've come a long ways, and it's really a testament to the relationship, and really appreciate the participation of the unions, and really making that something that is really helpful for the process of figuring these tough questions out together. So
Yeah, and just a due diligence, they went back, because originally they came out and it was like, okay, we have to make this adjustment. But then realizing how the adjustment was going to impact several of our staff members, and going back to the table and saying, let's open this up further and look at different avenues, and working with our broker and coming up with actually options. And those options will be well received by our families, because then there's some personal choice and ownership in that, which is what we wanted initially, but they rolled up their sleeves and got that work done, so we appreciate that.
sure, thank you.
Any further commentary? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Ms. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Goffin?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
4-0.
And that will move us to item number 9, Treasurer's Report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bevan.
So a couple things on the agenda tonight. We do not have our monthly financial reports yet. We're still working on closing out the month of June and fiscal year 25, so we'll have those on next month's agenda for approval. But we do have the approval of some donations, some enrichment personnel for some of our programs, and then item C is the actual approval of the health insurance plans and the rates for the year. So we'll take actually, we already have the motion in the second. So one thing I did want to mention there, you guys stole my thunder, but I did want to talk about the process a little bit. So the healthcare committee meets several times throughout the year. And this spring was probably atypical for our committee. It's a group that represents every different type of staff member in the district. So we've got classified staff, bus drivers, aides, teachers, administrators. It's really a variety of staff that are represented there. And it's really a group that works really well together. And so I just wanted to thank the committee members for all of their work. And so we typically will meet quarterly throughout the year. This year, because rates were we start watching this in February, and rates were trending higher even at that point. So it really was there were a lot of extra meetings this year to kind of watch the new data come in. So every month we had new claims data, and so in May there was one school of thought saying, okay, well, we think this is where we're going to land. Then later in the month, we got new claims data from a new month saying, okay, well, actually now this is where we're going to land. And so there was a lot of adjusting, adapting, on behalf of the committee, and so just thank them for staying engaged all the way through the process, helping educate the staff on what's out there. They spent time, all throughout the year, after school, even in the summer here. We met a couple times to work through different plan options, and so a lot of thought actually went into this. There were probably, I would say, there's 2 plan options on here for next year. So we've historically had 1 high deductible health plan option. Next year we'll have 2 high deductible health plan options. But to get to those 2 options, one that we already had and 1 new one, we probably looked at least 14 different options out there and scenarios out there. So the committee really spent a lot of time evaluating each of those options, talking to staff members, saying, okay, what do you think is the best option for us to look at? And so I just wanted to thank them for all of their hard work.
I echo that. Whenever we have changes of this magnitude, it's important that we recognize that we do have certified and classified, and we have people making different amounts. And so trying to care for the entirety of our staff, the bus drivers, nutritional workers, aides, all those persons takes a really deliberate and conscious effort. And so just want to thank the healthcare committee for doing that when it comes to the health insurance, because that's really a big attraction and retainer for us, for a lot of our staff, is that they can work and get health insurance through the district. So really well done. Any further commentary? Seeing none. Mr. Bevan?
Ms. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Gavin?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
4-0.
All right. Item number 10. It is a Board of Education action item. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So, as most of you know, and if some of you don't, the function of a Board of Education, one of their biggest charges is to hire a treasurer and superintendent. And I would put the one that is in charge of this district, both of them, at the top of those professionals in this state. As such, we recognize that we need to retain their services. Dr. Cooper is one of the best superintendents in the state of Ohio. And if you want to have that conversation with me, my phone number and email are on the website. He works and works and works and somehow still has time for his wife and his children and tending to his self-care and faith and professional development. I don't know how he does it. I do not want his job. He's really, really good at it. The word that comes to mind is faithful. Another is dedicated. And so what we, the 5 of us, and Desiree, our board member who can't be here, just wanted to thank you for your hard work. It is not unnoticed. I think I go to a lot of things, but you're always there. The way that you care for our students and show up for them, it's amazing. And so it is with great honor and pleasure that we want to extend your contract with us for another 5 years. Charles and I and Matt, we're sports fans, so signing a
Connie and Desiree too.
Connie,
yeah.
Desiree, yeah, they understand salary cap structures
They-
and
That's who
Mac
I
and-
learned it from.
Okay, all right. But connecting you to us through this 2030 journey, beyond this 2030 journey, was a big priority for us. And again, I can't say enough. The long nights, the tough calls, bus accidents, things that happen. You handle a lot of this very difficult, delicate, hard stuff with integrity. And you'll be the first person to say you don't always get it right, but you care and you follow up and you come back to the table and you have a vigor about you that honestly we worry about, that you don't burn out, but you haven't yet. So we're just grateful to have you here, and grateful that this is an agreement that you can be proud of, and that we are happy to sign our names and sign you too. So that's what I got. Thank you.
two of my most proud moments on this board were, I think, both when I was sitting in the center seat was when we hired the two of you to lead our district, and I've been proud since that time to be a part of any extension to keep you in the seat, Jonathan. When I think of where we were, Mason has been an excellent district for a very, very long time. But what the levels that you've brought us to in terms of culture and consistency, in addition to the excellence and caring for the well-being of our students and meaning and purpose and moving us forward to that being the focus of what we do is just incredible. And we're excited to have you continue that journey and continue leading that journey here in Mason. So proud to take this vote tonight. I think the community should be proud that we're taking this step to keep you in the seat for these next 5 years. So thank you, Jonathan.
Technically 6.
Well, the next 5 years. The 5 years additional.
After, yes.
We already had you for the one.
Details. I'm not going to repeat a lot of what they said, not because I don't agree with it, but because I have something to add to the bucket. And that is, while all of this other stuff that Ian just rolled out and said he doesn't know how you do it, there are a lot of things that we're not thinking of up here right now. But you always make time for someone who needs to speak with you, even if you don't think they need to speak, just they do. You always make time for everyone, and that's really important in a district as diverse as ours. It's really important, so thank you for that.
I think it has been well said, what everyone else has said up here. Like Ian mentioned, there's really 2 significant roles that a school board has, is selecting their treasurer, selecting their superintendent. And if you get those right, then a lot of the rest of what we do is pretty smooth sailing. If you don't get those right, then that's tends to be when you start seeing your name in the headlines. And I personally believe that it's a badge of honor when I go out in the community and people have no idea who I am. They don't know I'm on the school board. They don't know I'm been on this board for 7.5 years, and I attribute that to the fact that things generally run pretty smoothly, and they don't have a reason usually to Google where do I send my email for what I'm upset about. And to the ones that do, as Connie alluded to, you are always accessible and available to us as board members as well as our community. And you are quick to give us as much context as you have, even when it feels like you might have to give it 5 times, and those quick couple-minute conversations add up over the course of a day and a week and a month. And so it's not lost on us how much your time is invested into this district. And at the same time, to those who would scrutinize and question the way that we steward the taxpayer dollars of this district, I think this is an agreement that not only you should be very proud of, but our community should be very proud of, as far as the value that they're getting with their leader. So excited to vote on this one.
As you were talking, a quick anecdote jumped in my mind. We had a committee meeting 2 weeks ago, and House Bill 96 had just come out of conference committee, and your superintendent decides, you know what I should do? I should send a correspondence to the governor to just let him know, person to person, how I feel and just what I think should happen. And I don't know. I haven't talked to Governor DeWine, but I like to think in my head that he read that email and recognized the man that was from and the district that he was from. And when I tell you, because I've read it, that what the governor decided to do was a lot of what you said. And so when people ask about, does Mason have a voice? Yeah, because Dr. Cooper is a man that leads with integrity in those ways. And so when he speaks, people listen. And so, Mason City School District, this is a good day for us. And so without further ado, no more commentary. Mr. Bevan, please call the roll.
Mr. Gavin?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Absolutely.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
4-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, say a few words just really quick, and I know it's July, so I'll be very brief. Just number one, I just want to say thank you, and from the bottom of my heart, I love serving this district. I love this community. I love our teachers. I love what we get to do here. So thank you for allowing. Thank you for supporting that. I have a team of people around me that I am just shocked every day that I get to work with. Even seeing Amy Dobson come on tonight. I mean, I just over and over. I sat with a teacher today interviewing because I get to meet with each person coming in. This is a teacher who is a rock star in a really good district close to us, and they want to come here to be a part. And I say, why do you want to be a Mason? They want to be a part of what we're doing. And to hear that, it just gives me joy. And I love having my kids here. So thank you. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Happy to have you. Happy to put our names on the contract. So moving on to item 11, which committee reports? I only have one.
So we did have a finance committee meeting a couple weeks ago. A lot of things going on, so we had a chance to talk through several items, and actually several of the items that were on the agenda tonight. So property and casualty insurance renewal, looked at an update on health insurance. House Bill 96, of course, was a big one that we talked through. Just kind of monitoring where those things are at. The other thing we did talk about was took a look at the athletic fund and some of the finances there. So we had a good conversation around all of those things, and always appreciate the time of our finance committee members and their input. So
It was a great meeting. Thank you, Sean, for the update. Didn't have any other committee updates. No one else met, so we'll move to item number 12 and the legislative update.
Really briefly, legislative update. House Bill 96, as everyone paid attention last time we were together, has moved on to the governor. The governor did veto items that were very beneficial to us specifically and others, and
His vetoes were beneficial to us.
his vetoes were very beneficial to the yes. There were things that in my letter to him, I just framed it as there are things that can be very divisive to a community that are in this, and the last thing we need in public education or in any community is division right now. We need to be together, and especially for our school, for our kids. And so just grateful that he was able to hear that and advocate on behalf of public education and just students in schools and private schools, homeschools, everywhere in communities. So just grateful for that. Last piece, so basically the House and the Senate have the next move that they are allowed to make in that process, I guess, and that would be an override to the veto. And so we are in constant conversation. Today I was in multiple conversations with Columbus and with our local legislators specifically, and I have a phone call tonight after our meeting with Representative Matthews just to make sure that they are very thoughtful in what they're trying to override, and so they're not overriding something that is going to then cause more division in the community. So I think what I'm hearing out of that conversation is that we as a district here locally will still be in really good shape moving forward next year based on the work we've been able to do, but we'll stay really closely connected to that, and that's July 21st is the estimated time when that would drop. So we'll be watching closely July 21st to see if that's actually the date where the override language would come out. And then there's a couple other steps after that, but we'll keep you informed as we move forward, because I know our next meeting is in August, but I'll keep you informed in the meantime. Thanks.
if I could piggyback on that, Jonathan, as he mentioned, so anybody who's watched the board meetings or attended board meetings the last few months, we've talked a lot about House Bill 96, House Bill 335, all these things that could affect the district legislatively. So just a brief update. Since our last board meeting, obviously the governor did sign House Bill 96 into law. So there were a lot of things that we were unsure of. A couple, just for anybody who's watching, a couple things that did come through is that our state funding actually is going to increase a little bit. So about $2 million over the biennium. So we'll see an increase there. The other thing that was a significant factor that we've really been watching closely is this cash reserve cap. And as Jonathan mentioned, the governor that was one of the provisions that the governor vetoed of having that cash reserve cap in law. However, as he mentioned, we're watching closely to see if there could be a potential override of that cap. The other thing I did want to say is that, and we talked about this in Finance Committee and we talk about it really on a regular basis, is that as we look at things from a risk management perspective, we always want to make sure that we are safeguarding district resources and setting ourselves up for the future and properly planning short-term and long-term. And so even though some of these things that could have impacted us significantly were vetoed, I guess I would say legislatively the story is not over. And so it's something that we will continue to monitor, next week, next month, next year, into the future. And so I would say that this is not the end of the story. This is really just the beginning and a continuation of the story on how these things might play out in the future. And so the other thing I would say is that we're going to have a chance to adjust and adapt in terms of how we view things from a risk management perspective, how we view our short and long-term financial planning and the things that we do and the actions that we take. And so much more to come on that in the future. I'm sure. I don't know as of today, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something I'm sure will continue to be changing, and we'll make sure that we're doing due diligence on our part and make sure that we're putting ourselves and our community in a good place to be successful into the future. So.
Thank you, Sean. We are light on administrators, but we still have time for administrator commentary. We'll start with Mrs. Carson.
Well, just thank you to the board for extending Dr. Cooper's contract. We really, as a community, also value what that means for each of you to publicly say with confidence that we believe in the vision and the vigor and the values that Dr. Cooper really has also is community sourced and has been so attached to that. And so thank you for that. The stability that it gives, the belief of Mason quality. We're just, as a community, grateful for you all too, to say that and to keep us going and moving forward into 2030 and now very much beyond 2031. I'll put in a plug. 2039 wouldn't be bad, but I'll say. And then also, it is Amazon Prime time right now, and if you were like starting to scroll through and seeing opportunities to get great deals on things, you could also go on the district social media sites and notice we have some Amazon lists curated right now to go ahead and jump in and help some of our Mason kids at the holidays for holiday help. So we have some amazing items that are great deals. I saw some Squishmallows for like $12.99 right now that are regularly $32. I had to order them immediately because who doesn't want a deal? But these are going to be deals that are going to make sure that Comets, over 1,000 kids this year we know will need a help at the holiday. Now's a great time to do that at a bargain. You can have it shipped straight to Mason Central, or you can drop them off and we'll make sure that they get going. And I know Amy Dobson, who we're thrilled to have on board, is going to be so excited to help also be part of that process. So much thanks for that, and we're so grateful to have Amy. Can't wait to get to be on this journey with you. She is a great match and is another fantastic example of someone who wants to be here because of the culture that we have. And then just one more add on kids in need and how we as a community come together and rally. Our Mason Schools Foundation is already starting, and Ian's incredible wife leading the way for our school supply drive. And so this is another big push. As you see opportunities to come around, even a $25 donation goes a long way to helping, because we will make those dollars work even more. August 8th will be a day that we're allowing kids to kind of come in and do some shopping for their own school supplies this year. That's something we're going to try a little bit differently based on our experience with holiday help that we're really excited about. So be on the lookout, open up your pockets a little bit, and be ready to make sure that each and every Comet starts the school year off with just all the right tools, and then we'll also take care of them at the holidays too.
Thank you, Tracy. Dr. Blessing.
Well, good evening. I wanted to first congratulate Mr. Brown and all of his student groups this evening. That is so exciting to see all of the success at the high school, and just feel good moments for all of us. It does really make us feel like it's a passion, and it's just super fun. So thank you. We know he has a tough job as well, so I hope he's getting some R&R this summer. And congratulations to Dr. Cooper, and thank the board for your support of our fearless leader. So it is a joy to work with him and all of you. And I'm really excited that I get to continue my work with Mrs. Dobson for the last 5 years. She has truly been an inspiration to me with her leadership and just making me better Amy. So thank you, and looking forward to getting to work together again. So thank you for that as well, and enjoy the rest of summer. I know school supplies are out at Walmart and Target and everywhere else, but it's still summer, so enjoy. Because we have a lot of work to do before next month. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Blessing.
You're welcome.
That's tough to think about, but Mr. Bev.
Thank you to the board. Thank you to Jonathan. I appreciate all of your guys' leadership, and congratulations on the contract, both of you guys, and makes me even more excited about the journey to 2030 and beyond. So thank you.
Thanks. I want to thank we know we have in our audience a Scout member, and I'm doing some reviews. So Scouts out there, I just want to thank you for your work in our community and plugging in. It's always good to have students stay till the end of the meeting too. It's always fun to have you, so thank you. And thank you again for just your faith and the work that we're doing in the team, because I know it's a contract extension for me, but really it's just allowing me to be with this team longer and doing the work that we believe in is really important to us. Also, we do have 5 weeks. That's more than a month, right? So we have a lot of great work happening. And so I know people enjoy your time, know that we are working diligently behind the scenes so that we are ready to go. And we have good work happening. So have confidence in that as we go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. That brings us to item number 14, board commentary. Is at about 8:25. So we'll start with Mr. Galvin.
I think we've touched on a lot tonight, and I just want to put a bow on what a privilege it is to serve in a district as accomplished, supportive, talented as ours is here in Mason, and how awesome it is to work with the fellow board members that make it a joy to come to board meetings, to think through these issues, to wrestle with hard questions that every district, in the state, in the country has to deal with. I don't feel anxiety. I don't feel stressed coming to meetings and, having candid, tough conversations with you guys in our work sessions, because I know that all of your hearts are in the right place, and even if we have disagreements, we work through those disagreements professionally, cordially, and it's obviously the result of years of board members past and present that have established and set that tone. I thank our community as well for entrusting us to make some of these big decisions to kind of steer the ship in a North Star direction. And I hope that our community appreciates and sees the fruit of that labor when we're able to extend. Is this the third contract of our superintendent? I think if you were a Bengal, that's not really something that they do, in Cincinnati. And I think that speaks to the stability, as people have alluded to, the continuity, and that benefits our district. That benefits our taxpayers. I don't. It's not hyperbole to say that the people in this room sometimes understand the consequences of the decisions that are made in Columbus better than the people in Columbus do. And so when they say they want something that they've heard from their constituents, and for example, something like property tax relief, and they throw that hot button issue up at the wall and declare that they're doing something about that, we sometimes know better, and we sometimes are able to walk them down the path and show them that while a proposal might have the best of intentions, the reality is it's not going to result in the outcome they think it is, and it's not going to be the best interest of our residents or residents elsewhere in the state of Ohio. So I'm grateful to be able to work in close proximity with you guys, with you as well, with Desiree as well, and I just appreciative of being able to serve this district. That's all for me.
Thank you, Mr. Galvin. Mrs. Yingling.
Thank you. This time around, I love that you're counting how many times you're renewing a superintendent's contract, because it shows the longevity that we have experienced and are still on the road to continue doing that. I meant what I said earlier about giving your time so willingly to people that have concerns or have interests. unfortunately in Mason, not everything, we hear more bad because people seem more motivated when they've got an issue. But when things are going smoothly, they don't speak up quite as much. But it really is a pleasure, and you make our job really easy. When people talk to us in the community, they ask us a question about an issue, we have usually a good idea of what's going on. We may not know all the details, but you don't leave us in the dark, and you have no idea how important that is to people who have to run around with signs, their name on signs every 4 years. It's extremely helpful for you to be an individual that talks with real people. You're a real person, and you present yourself in the same manner to all of the constituencies, all of the interest folks that we have in this community. And I think that's why we are so successful. There are a lot of places that don't have the diversity that we have. That's a more complex issue. I don't care what your intentions are. That's an intentional issue to master. And I think that you've done a tremendous job with those things here in only really 2 contracts, because the 3rd time around is upcoming. But yeah, we're very happy. You make our jobs so easy because you really equip us with information and what's going on, and that is wonderful. It's the right way to do business with our community. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Yingling. Vice President Steele.
So we've lauded you, Jonathan, rightfully so, and celebrated your extension, but I wanted to take a minute to recognize your family, specifically your wife, Michelle, and all 4 of your children. It's not easy being the superintendent of a high-performing and highly engaged, top-notch community like Mason. It's also not easy to be married to the superintendent or to be the child of superintendent. So it's not always easy for our families, but however many times exponentially more difficult it must be for your family, we know that it is. And so we just thank your family, thank Michelle for just everything that she does behind the scenes for the district, and her support for you and the support for all of us, but also just make sure that they understand that we know their sacrifice every day, and we are so appreciative of it. And your children are fantastic human beings and fantastic members of the community, and that's a testament to you and Michelle and the culture that you have at home. So just wanted to give a shout out to you all too. So thank you. That's all.
Want to thank the Ultimate Frisbee team. It seems like what is left to be said about that program. My son is an Ultimate Frisbee guy now, and their culture is a real deal. So the winning is an outgrowth of that, and so very, very proud that they wear Mason across the chest and represent our community very well. The math, the M3 thing blows my mind. I don't have enough time, or I
really should apologize. Like we should have said more, but we just can't even comprehend.
On a lark. Let's just put together a team, and we'll win the whole thing. Like I
kind of want to watch like a Disney movie about it. Like that's a great script.
Again, just and knowing the component parts. There's just our students are so well prepared. I'll circle back to that concept really quickly. To the 4x4 team, I'm a track dad. I'm gonna try to put that down next year. I'll still be around, but what they did, how they performed, you had to have seen it, and to end a state track meet, to dominate that race. Everybody had run individual events or other relays, and so they're tired. It's a long day. There were weather delays. It was brutally hot. First warm weather meet of the year. Track is miserable weather in Ohio. It's just a thing. So those young women are the best of what we have in athletics, and so very, very proud of them. Very, very proud of that team. Welcome, Amy. Just excited. Every time we get a new player, it's amazing. And from our job fair to the openings that we've had and the people that we've been able to either promote or to bring on to the team, whether they be building principals, assistant principals, staff members, classified, certified, it doesn't matter. It is, people want to be here. You may not live in this community, but you want to work for this district. And it's not just the pay scale. It is because you can be a part of developing these kids. And it's not just these kids in this room, but it's the kids on 504s and IEPs and the paras that help them reach their goals and their plans on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And so that, as much as we try not to think we all have bosses at our jobs, but that culture rolls down. It comes down. And so when I look at who we have leading the district with the two of you gentlemen, it is, it's, Judge and Stanton, right? We're hitting home runs. We're just grateful that you guys chose Mason to be here and bring your whole selves and who you are to that, and we are the beneficiaries of that. And so, I just can't say enough about, to Charles's point, serving in this district. This is a decision that, everybody nowadays has a platform to say the things that they want to say, and I would hope that if you have something or a concern, as Connie said, Jonathan is accessible. We are accessible, and you don't get that everywhere. So, for it's worth $1 million to not be in the headlines, Jonathan. So thank you for being diligent about your stewardship of this district. And would you say 5 weeks? So the next time we have a board meeting, the machine is cranked up, but you guys are be ready to go. So with that, I'll take my motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Right. Thank you.